Hello on the Daily Fam. Welcome back to the show. In this episode, we are doing a client hype episode. I actually haven't done one of these in a while. And it's funny because I feel like my clients are having results all the time, but it's something that I usually celebrate with them. And I then forget to share it with the world. And I like sharing these wins with the world. So this episode is a client hype episode. And what I'm going to tell you about is how my client went from 0 Instagram followers to over 3,000 in just a couple months, all by aligning her brand, her messaging, her business with her astrology and her human design. And obviously, the consistency and the hard work and the refining of her messaging and all the things. But I'm going to tell you how she did it. And it makes me so happy. And it's awesome because she's a good friend of mine. And so, friends love to see friends win, but also coaches love to see their clients win. And so this is a double whammy. And I think if you are building a personal brand right now, this episode's going to really resonate with you. So listen in. Hey, friend. Welcome to On the Daily. I'm your host, Danielle McCleary, and I am a quantum business coach. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm a multi-six-figure entrepreneur, co-founder and president of Hype You Media, and CEO of Danielle on the Daily Coaching. What I'm really interested in is helping you live a life and have a business that is a full body yes. So through all of my education and all of my experience, I'm bringing you 2 episodes a week where I will guide you and give you the tools necessary to scale a massive, sustainable, and sexy business using your intuition, wealth energetics, and human design. What we can call it is business biohacking. So if you're down for that, then I say let's frickin' go. I'm so glad you're here. I have a free 90-minute masterclass all about what I'm going to tell you in this episode. It is called Persona, and it's literally how to build a personal brand using your astrology and human design. And I mean personal brand that attracts new clients, that, gains traction, that gets the attention that you want. Listen, if you're building a business or a personal brand, you do want to be famous, and maybe not Kardashian famous, but you definitely do want to be famous. Otherwise, you wouldn't be putting yourself out there. And what that masterclass really teaches you how to do is to build your personal brand, aligning yourself with your human design and your astrology so it can feel a lot easier. Because I think that there's a lot of frustration when it comes to building a personal brand and what to post and what your niche is and how often should I post and what should my content be about and who's my ideal client. And I think a lot of it can just be really easily worked out through your human design and astrology. So I teach you how to do it. It's literally 90 minutes. It's the longest free masterclass I think that exists on the planet. Probably not, but it's long. And it's what some people charge thousands for. And I just decided, I was like, you know what? We're going to just give it to you. So you can click the link in our show notes to get access to that. You can also come DM me the word persona on Instagram and I'll send it over. But it is all about what I'm going to be talking about in this episode. So hopefully if you haven't taken part in that masterclass, you do get your hands on it since it is free. A lot of people are wanting close proximity business support. And I think the idea of it can be really scary because we're like, oh my gosh, it's a big investment. What if my business doesn't grow? What if? If you are a person who knows that your business is the shit, you know that you're going to be super successful, you are ready, you have the bones, you have the ideas. Right now, you're just ready to make some good fucking money. My Scale to Sick Mastermind is the place for you. This mastermind is for anyone who's scaling their business through 6 figures. You want to implement strategy. You want to implement a back end. You want to start to put yourself in a space with people who are moving and grooving in the same way you are. You're ready to tune out the noise of all the people that say that you can't. You're ready to heal all of the generational and childhood trauma and programming around what money looks like and who it's for. And you're ready to just completely leave all of that and build a business that feels really good to you. Or if you have a job that you're trying to just you're trying to have a really steady career, Scale to 6 is the place for you. It is currently accepting new members. You can join for 6 or 12 months. There's a standard and there's a VIP option, which would also include private calls with me as well as Voxer. This is the place for you if you are serious about building a business. Like, it is always wild to me when people who are building a big business don't have close proximity private support in their business, either through private coaching or a mastermind. And the mastermind is a great way to work with me one-on-one, as well as other people who are building similar size businesses to you. It is, people will be like, I just like don't know why, like I don't feel like I can afford a mastermind, but I just don't know why my business isn't growing. It's like, well, it's because you haven't invested in a mastermind. It's because you haven't invested in close proximity support. Can you do it without it? Yes. Will investing in a private in close proximity support like a mastermind make you go faster? Yes, because you are not having to go through the same things that other people are going through because I have been through them, and I'm going to help you not have to make the same mistakes I did. So all it does is speed up your trajectory. So if you feel like you've been stuck at like, that like 8 to 10,000 a month mark or less, and you're like, I just want this to blow the F up, that is a good sign that you're ready for Scale to 6. And I would love to have you in there. So if you would like to learn more, you can click the link in our show notes. If you want to apply, you can click the link on the webpage, or you can come slide into my DMs on Instagram and we can have a conversation there to see if this mastermind container is right for you. But in addition to the container itself, which includes all of my programs, literally every single one, as well as 3 to 5 monthly calls, as well as a Slack channel. It also includes in-person retreats. So you're really getting everything. And the price is going to go up soon. So if you are looking to save a little bit of money, that now is kind of the time to have that conversation, and we can. So, okay, let's get into this episode. How my client went from 0 Instagram followers to over 3,000 in just a couple months, how she went from having no leads to over 30 leads, how she went from having low engagement to almost 1 million views on her reels, plus just over 3,000 shares and saves and all the things. I'm going to tell you all about it, but I am so excited for this client. She is a really good friend of mine, and she's been working really hard at her brand and her business over the last year for sure, but really, really intentionally, or I think over the last 6 months. And she did a lot of really scary things that led her to where she's at now. And I want to tell you about them. So when this client came to me, she was starting a business, and she's an intuitive healer and coach, which is already a really taboo business. I think it's one of those things where as your gifts start to awaken, it becomes very clear what you're here to do. And it can be also very overwhelming. It can also be very scary because, this isn't something that you like go get a degree for and then you start a business. It's literally a spiritual gift that you have that you decide you're going to share with others. So there's already a lot of like healing and limiting belief work you have to do in order to start a business like that. So she started a business like that over a year ago. And for a long time, she was posting content, maybe it was landing, maybe it wasn't. She was just feeling very drained by her content. She was feeling very drained by her network. She was feeling very drained by the engagement that she would get. And I understand that feeling, because when you are a healer, when you have a gift, it is very frustrating to feel like the right people are not seeing you. And this is how this client felt for a while. So there's a few things we did that really have helped her have the success that she's now having. And some of those things are energetic and some of those things are strategic. And I'm going to tell you about all of them. So the first thing we did was, on a strategic level, we figured out her product suite. So what is she offering? What are the price points she's offering it for? What does she actually want to launch? Then once we got clear on like what the actual program was that she wanted to launch, now we had to sell it. Now we had to build a funnel for it. So we worked on a freebie offer for her that could help funnel people to her main offer through her email list and an upsell sequence in the form of an email. So we built out an upsell sequence. We built out a funnel. The funnel takes people from the freebie all the way up until the paid offer. And this was really important because your Instagram can only do so much. Your stories, your posts, that can only do so much. Your email list is really where conversion and convincing happens. There are 4 types of content. I actually learned this from a friend of mine who is a social media agency owner, and this is something she taught me that now I like live by. There are 4 types of content. You have capture, connect, convince, and convert content. And each of those are useful in different areas. A lot of the reels we post are more capture and connect content, but that's not necessarily going to be what convinces and converts somebody into a paid buyer. Usually, convince and convert content happens in the DMs, it happens through email. It also happens as a pitch at the end of a free offer. It also can happen with your posts, but those posts are typically like more of your carousels and the content that's like speaking directly to a person. That's usually where you're going to find the most luck with or the most success, not luck, none of it's luck, the most success with convince and convert content. However, most of the reels we post on social media are going to be more content that's aimed to capture an audience and connect with them. So what we got really clear on with this client was I really wanted to make sure that she knew the difference and that she really was thinking about calls to action in some of these reels that were more capture and connect content. Sorry. I really wanted to make sure that she was properly funneling all of this new audience, these new eyes that she was going to get. I wanted to make sure that they were properly funneling to her email list. And so she built out a free offer that was very easily a funnel to her paid offer. And she has ran the free offer a few times. So when she runs the offer, she creates content for that free offer. The call to action is for the free offer. And then everybody gets that free offer. And then behind the scenes, she can funnel people to the higher ticket paid offer that she is now funneling people to. So we worked out her funnel. We really rearranged the back end of her business so that she wasn't just like throwing spaghetti at the wall anymore. I am very much all about there comes a point in your business where messy action is not the answer. Like people are like, oh, messy action, messy action. Like there comes a point where you have to stop doing messy action because messy action is going to attract messy clients. And this specific client was very clear that she was over attracting messy clients and she wanted to attract very aligned and very ready to buy clients who were an energetic match for what she was teaching. So the way that she had to do that was she had to clean up her back end. She had to get very clear on her messaging. We really worked a lot of her copy. So we worked her website. I helped her kind of redo her website and really, really put herself forward and change some of the languaging to attract a different type of person. And then perhaps the biggest shift she made, which I don't recommend that everybody do this. I don't think this is a must. This was what she continually was coming back to in her intuition. And she's an intuitive healer. So this is a person who very much trusts her intuition. And over again, her intuition was telling her it was time to get a new Instagram. Because, her Instagram had been in use for years. And throughout those years, she had gone from, different areas of work, whether it was in fitness or health, or, there were people from high school. It was just like a big hodgepodge of different types of people that were not necessarily going to be aligned, energetic match clients for what she was building now. So her intuition said, I'm going to start a new Instagram. And obviously, like, I say go for it. If that's where you're at and you keep thinking like, what if I just started a new Instagram? Then I say you're wasting your energy by continuing to think about it. Just do it and see how it goes. So she did it. She completely left her old Instagram, which had like thousands of followers, and she started a new one. And obviously that was scary because it's a slow start. She's going to post some content. I told her to boost certain posts that were going to be really niche reels and things that would be really good to get out and start pushing out to new people. So she boosted a few posts early on through Instagram, which again is an investment because you have to pay to boost. So she invested some money into her business by boosting some posts that were going to help kind of get this new page circulating amongst new aligned clients. And she started posting very consistently in her niche of intuitive healing, energetics, past life, medium type content. Also very relationship focused. She's really big into manifestation. So all of her posts, she started to have a very clear niche, and it's very clear what you're going to get from her when you go to this post, which is only going to help the algorithm bring her aligned energetic match clients. So we did that. And then the probably the most impactful thing, which is where like things really started to pop off for her, was we actually aligned her entire business and brand to her human design and her astrology, specifically her midheaven in her astrology. She's a midheaven. She's a sun in Virgo. She's also a projector. She's a splenic projector in human design, which means that her intuition is it whispers, but it's very clear. And it's literally what we think of when we think of intuition. It's the spleen. So it's that little voice behind your head telling you to do things. It doesn't make sense. Like oftentimes it sounds batshit crazy to yourself, but that's where her intuition lies. So to strengthen her intuition, she really had to start listening to that little voice in her head, even if it sounded crazy. So she started to do that with her business, with her social media. That's what led her to starting a new social media, a new Instagram account. That's what led her to doing a new photo shoot and kind of changing the way that she presented herself. Then we looked at her midheaven sign, and her midheaven is she is a Sagittarius midheaven. She's a Virgo sun. So Virgo energy is very detailed oriented. It's very like lays it out for you. It's very systematic. It has a lot of heart on the sleeve. It's very grounded. It's a very loving, caring energy. Which is honestly what she led with for a really long time on her social media. She would give all the details. Everything was very wordy. It was very much focused on the how and the strategy and the steps and the what. And it just wasn't hitting. It wasn't hitting that well for her on social media. So when she rebranded on this new account, one of the things we worked on was her midheaven, and her midheaven is in Sagittarius, which if you go to Pinterest and you Google and you Pinterest the word Sagittarius mood board, the energy is like free spirit, like literally put me on a horse and ride me off into the sunset. And obviously I'm a Sagittarius sun. So this was something that I very much understood. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So think about like who I am in my everyday. That's who you want to brand yourself. That's like the energy that like a Sagittarius midheaven should be branding with. Kind of this like, maybe he's going to show up, maybe not. Like the reputation is like party girl energy. And that's not who she is. She's a Virgo, but by realigning her brand message and the way that her brand presented to her midheaven, it very clearly got rid of the people who misunderstand her and are committed to misunderstanding her. So the people that were going to misunderstand her like tender Virgo heart, that's like this bleeding heart that deeply cares about people and is this like open channel for mediumship. People who came to her page and saw this kind of like Sagittarius energy, like could care less if I make money, but like I'm here, having the best time of my life. I have the best boyfriend. I have the best body. I have the best clothes. I have the best hair. Like it's kind of this energy that a Sagittarius midheaven can present with. And what that will do is it will very quickly repel people who are not an energetic match, which is what you want. Like if your Instagram feels like Switzerland to people where it's like, I could take it or leave it, that's not a good thing. Like you want your social media to repel the wrong people, because you cannot have 100,000 people love you unless 100,000 people hate you. Like it's just the way it is. It's the law of polarity in our universal laws. There are universal laws as real as gravity, and the universal law of balance or polarity is one of them. And it literally states that like it's basically Newton's third law of physics. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For everything that you perceive as good, there's something equal and opposite on the other side. So you cannot have a lot of people love you unless people hate you. And so your content should very, very clearly repel people who are not for you, because that is the only way your content can find the people that are for you. And I think that you can do that by aligning your brand messaging, your brand photos, your brand like energy with your midheaven sign in your astrology. So we did that with hers, and it kind of freaked her out a little bit because her soul, her biggest gifts are the way that she explains things. They are how wordy she can be. They are how like grounded and detail oriented and efficient that she can be. But by not really fighting to let that be seen up front on social media and really leading with her Sagittarius midheaven, she very quickly repelled people who were not interested. But what happened was she's had a few reels do very, very well. One recently that just went like super viral, almost has 1 million views on it in just about a week. She's gotten that post alone has like over 3,000 shares on it. It's gained her over 2,000 followers in the last week. And she also got like over 40 something leads for her free masterclass, which now she's funneling to paid offers. And it really was like these small tweaks in strategy, in energetics, in human design and astrology. She basically, as a projector, is here to become the billboard for her brand and like basically show how she's changed her life so that other people can change theirs. And so when she did that and her social media and her posts and her content really started to reflect that, she got the followers. So her account is reaching hundreds and thousands of new people. She's getting thousands of new followers. And now she also has the strategic back end to back it up so that she can funnel all of these new people to offers and connect or to convince and convert them through email marketing. So this is just an example how it is 80% energetics and it's 20% strategy in business. And one of the things I really help my clients do well is align their brand with their human design and astrology. And then the strategy stuff we can do really easily because that's pretty like A plus B equals C. But it's been really fun to watch this client kind of revamp their entire brand essentially. And it doesn't feel that different. It's just more clear. It's more fun. It's more, it's less like bleeding heart and more like I'm here to live my best life and you can come along, which are the people that she wants to have as clients in the first place. So all that to be said, make sure you check out my free masterclass Persona because that masterclass is 90 minutes long and it explains all of this, all of the human design and astrology stuff when it comes to personal branding. That's what it explains. It's super valuable. It's super informative. The amount of feedback I've gotten on that masterclass of like how clear things have gotten for people in their branding is amazing. Obviously not surprising, but it's amazing because I love seeing people win in that way. But that is definitely a place. You can also always book a human design reading with me and I can go through all of this in your chart on a very specific way. We can also tap into things like your branding, how you're meant to make money, what your channels are, like where your pressure and your stress lies. Like all of that is done in my human design readings. The reason why my human design readings are so like coveted and like sought after is because it's not just me reading your chart. It's me helping you connect the dots between like what you're learning, the programming you have already, the conditioning that's been given to you throughout the years, but also like how to apply all of this information towards whatever you're building, whether it be a family, a business, your life, etc. So you can always book a human design reading. The link to that is in the show notes. And obviously keep following me on social media because I talk about this stuff all the time. But yeah, celebrating client hype, celebrating my client today because she's amazing. And she literally texted me and was like, I can feel it. Shit's about to pop off. And I'm like, yeah, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. And the proof is in the pudding. And this is like the third or fourth client that I've helped do this. And it's just amazing to see the results when people really, really work with me in a close capacity and we can like really work on this stuff. Again, the best place to have this kind of access all the time is my Scale to Six mastermind. This is for the mastermind for people who are scaling through six figures in their business and they're ready to implement strategy. They're ready to implement like back end systems funnels, but also are trying to really align their brand with their human design and astrology. That is the place for you. So you can click the link in our show notes and you can really take a look at what Scale to Six has to offer. But this client is in Scale to Six and she is just the constant connection to me and the ability to like have my eye on things has been super, super important and beneficial. And then she has just like grown and blossomed. And it's just been really fun to watch and have a front row seat too. So again, Scale to 6 Mastermind, definitely the place for you if this is something that you want on a consistent basis. Okay, on that note, I'll see you next week.